Okay, guys, so I totally screwed up this problem. Back to video 4. It needed to be a negative 20. Can't believe I could mess up so much. So that would make it plus, and this one a minus. So let me erase this. And so 16 over 9, so that would be 9x squared plus, not squared, sorry. Yeah, 9x squared plus 16 times x squared minus 4. So then, and I don't have a squared on my answer on that thing. Man, I really messed that up. 9x squared plus 16 times x plus 2 times x minus 2. Okay, so that's with the original problem being 9x to the fourth minus 20x squared minus 64. Okay, my goodness. The perimeter is this, the length is this, and what is the width? So perimeter means the distance all the way around, so all the sides added up. So there would be two lengths, it's a rectangle, 2 lengths and 2 widths. So 2 of the lengths, 2x squared plus x plus y, plus 2 of the widths equals the perimeter. 4x squared plus 8x minus 2y. So I'm going to solve this for w. So then we'll have w in terms of x and y. Distributing the 2, 4x squared plus 2x plus 2y plus 2w equals 4x squared plus 8x minus 2y. So now we're going to solve for w, so I need to get that alone. So I'm going to minus 4x squared, and it cancels. That's nice. I'm going to minus 2x, that cancels. I'm going to minus 2y, minus 2y. So now we have 2w is equal to 6x minus 4y, and divide the 2. So w is 3x minus 2y. Yay! Solve. It's cubic, not quadratic, so let's get everything on one side. Plus 2y squared and minus 8y, so that it's set equal to 0. Now we have 6y to the third minus 13y squared minus 5y. Just moving up my answer document here. My computer's being weird. They all have a y, so I'm going to take out a GCF of y. 6y squared minus 13y minus 5 equals 0. And so we have to unfoil that. We got to factor that quadratic trinomial. So we're going to have that equals 0. So 6 times negative 5 is negative 30. Things that multiply to 30. 2 and 15, 3 and 10, 5 and 6. I know one of them has to be negative, so that they add to negative 13. So that would be negative 15 and positive 2. So then we would have y squared plus 2y, I'm doing y squared minus, come on people, y squared minus 13y minus 30 and then we would have y plus 2, y minus 15, but that's 6. We got to put it back in, and both of those simplify. 1/3, divide by 3, divide by 3. So then we would have 3y plus 2. Oh, plus 1, sorry, I was looking at 2, 6. 3y plus 1 and 2y minus 5. And so set each factor equal to 0. Y equals 0, 3y plus 1 equals 0, 2y minus 5 equals 0. So y is equal to minus the 1, divide the 3. This one, add the 5, divide the 2. So we have 3 solutions. Solve. All right, this is difference of squares. X squared plus 3, x squared minus 3. And so x squared plus 3 equals 0. X squared minus 3 equals 0. X squared equals negative 3. X squared equals 3. Take the square root of both sides on each equation. X is equal to, don't forget your plus or minus, the negative comes out as an I, root 3, plus or minus root 3. 4 solutions. What is the okay, so I'm going to skip this one because we are going to learn this in chapter 3. When we come back from break, we'll continue where we were. And end behavior. So to know the end behavior, you need to have them in standard form. So all multiplied out. So I'm going to look for the biggest one, the biggest degree, and I'm just going to multiply that, 2x to the 7th, because that would give me my leading term. So it's a positive 2, and the degree is odd. So for, here, let me make a little chart. For end behavior, it depends on odd degree or even degree, and the leading coefficient is either positive or negative. Positive. Odd is the end behavior are going in opposite directions. Positive is like a positive slope, up on the right, down on the left. If it's even degree, they go in the same direction. I don't know what's going on in the middle. Negative is down on the right, up on the left. And even negative, both sides are down. So ours is positive odd. So I'm going to write that, their fancy way we have to write that. As x approaches positive infinity, and then the second part as x approaches negative infinity. Then after that is what is the graph doing? F of x is approaching. So on the right, as x approaches positive infinity means on the right. So the right side is going up, positive infinity. And f of x, as x approaches negative infinity means the left. The graph is going down, so negative infinity. The equation is graphed below. Use the graph to help solve the equation. Oh, you need division for this. So so we'll do that after break, not on this test. Which polynomial is graphed? Okay, we can do this one. We talked about multiplicity and the roots, so we've got it's crossing 3 times -2, 0, and 3, and it's crossing each time rather than touching. So that means the exponent on it would be odd, so just a 1. So none of these are going to have a squaring. So if the graph was just touching, like say it did that, and it was just touching at 0, then there would be an even exponent on the factor. So the factor, the 0 means there's an x to the 1, and then the x minus 2 means the factor is x plus 2, and the positive 3 means the factor is x minus 3. So I'm going to look to see which one has that, and it is this one. Find all of this is another for next semester. Write a polynomial. Okay, I'm going to show you this one because I just am. So here's what we have to know. Write a polynomial, least degree, rational coefficient, so no radicals for the coefficients. A leading coefficient of 1, and here's the zeros. So what that means is we're going to turn this into the factors. So if the factor is -5, if the 0 is -5, the factor is x plus 5. And then, and here's the weird part, i's and radicals. Since the 0 is 2i, then we would have x plus 2i and also x minus 2i. The i's do that, and so do the radicals. So if there's a root 3, then we would have an x plus root 3 and an x minus root 3. Okay, so but here's the easy part. Well, first let me say this is all f of x equals, and we have to multiply all this out. But these two are x squared plus 4, and these two are x squared minus 3. And then the x plus 5 is just x plus 5. So we're going to multiply all this out. I'm going to FOIL this one and this one. X squared times x squared is x to the 4th. Outside would be minus 3x squared. Inside is plus 4x squared, giving us a plus x squared. 4 times -3 is -12 times x plus 5. And so now I have a trinomial times a binomial. So everything, remember everything that's in the first one, you got to distribute each one of those terms. So distributing the 4x to the 4th, x to the 4th times x is x to the 5th. X to the 4th times 5 is plus 5x to the 4th. Now distributing the x squared times x is x to the 3rd, x squared times 5, 5x squared. And now the -12, -12x and minus 60. And that's our answer. And it's in standard form. Notice my exponents. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And so, whoops, that's our answer. 42, a manufacturer is going to package their product in an open rectangular box made from a single flat piece of cardboard. This is our flat piece of cardboard. The box will be created by cutting a square out from each corner. So you're going to cut that square away. Cut those squares away so that you're left with this piece. And then you can fold it there, 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 and there, and put those pieces up so that it looks like this. The original rectangular piece is 17 by 12. Write a function that represents the volume. Volume is length times width times height. Length times width times height. So now let's talk about this. So I'm going to erase that so you can see everything. When they cut these pieces away, that's X inches long, this way and this way. So this distance here would be X. This distance here is X. This whole distance is 12. So we have 12 to begin with, and then we're subtracting X and subtract another X. So you're subtracting 2X. And that represents this distance here. Then along the bottom, this distance would be 17 minus this X, so minus 2X. So and that distance, this distance is this distance. So I guess I drew it in a bad spot because we're looking for, once you fold up the pieces, you have this guy. So the length is 17 minus 2X. The width is 12 minus 2X. And the height is X. So volume is length times width times height. And it doesn't matter what order you put those in because they're all multiplying. So I'm going to put the X first and then the other two. And I need to multiply all this out. So I'm going to leave the X and I'm going to FOIL those two. And I'm going to look at my screen so I don't have to pull out my calculator and do that again. So we would have 17 times 12, 204. Outside, minus 34x. Inside, minus 24x. Last is plus 4x squared. I'm going to combine those like terms. So 204 minus 58x plus 4x squared. And now we'll distribute that x. 204x minus 58x squared plus 4x to the third. And I'm going to put it in standard form, so highest exponent first, and then going down from there, 4x cubed minus 58x squared plus 204x. And that is it. So I apologize for that problem that we began. That was such a big, huge problem, this one. Hopefully we're good now. And that's it.